Hi, me too. Please remember this word. Don't forget to be grateful today, because what God has given us right now, doesn't other people get it? And then, let me introduce myself. My name is Vita Nuova with NIM 210341119 from Study Program Physics Class C of Padang National University. As the college student of physics, I want to share for you are watching my video about one of science in physics. The theory that I want to share is quantity and unit. To not waste the time, let me start. Before beginning the theory that I will discuss, does you guys know what physics is? Some of you might already know what physics is, but I will explain it again. First of all, to know what physics are, I prepared some video to explain physics in simple way. Look at the video that I will play, please. From the video that you watched just now, has it been described what physics is? In general, it has been confirmed right that physics is concerned with things that happen every day. Well, it is certainly not the definition of physics is a science of natural science that studies matter and its motion and behavior in the scope of space and time, along with related concepts such as energy and force. As one of the most basic of science, the main goal of physics is to understand how the universe works. So, after discussing about physics, let's go straight to the core of matter, namely its quantities and units. Let's discuss one by one. The first is the quantity. Quantity plays an important role in physics. In studying physics, we always deal with quantities, which are things that can be measured and operate. Every magnitude of a quantity is physics consists of a number and a unit. For example, a person says that he has run at a speed of 1 millisecond to the north. This means that the magnitude of the person's speed consists of the number 1 and the unit of speed is millisecond. Quantity is anything that has a unit that can be applied to measurements and calculation expressed in numbers to it. The requirement for something called a mandatory quantity contains three things, namely having units, being measurable, and being able to be assessed with number. Well, after discussing what a quantity is, I will tell you about the grouping of quantities based on the units. The grouping of quantities based on the units is divided into two groups, namely principal quantities and derived quantities. First is the principal quantity. The principal quantity is a quantity whose units have been determined or have been defined earlier. The units of the base quantity is called the base unit. The base quantity consists of 7 quantities as I will discuss and display on the screen. In the table, we can see that the first basic quantity is length, which has international units of meters. The second is the time has an international unit called the second. The third is massa or weight, where the international unit is kilogram. The fourth is temperature, where the international unit is Kelvin. The five is the electric current. The international unit is the ampere. 6. There is light intensity. The international unit is the candela, and the last is the amount of substance. The international unit name is mole. After discussing basic quantities, I will discuss derived quantities. Derived quantities are quantities whose units are translated from basic units. Derived quantities can also be interpreted as quantities that have 2 or more units of basic quantity because these quantities are derived from the principal quantity that are derived. Some derived quantities and their units are shown in the image that I will display on the screen. From the image displayed on the screen, it can be concluded that the notification of the symbol of quantities and units in figure 1 and 2 is the result of an agreed international convention. The use of symbol other than those shown in figure 1 and 2 is still allowed as long as the definition is consistent with a symbol and the unit used. Next, I will talk about unit. Unit is a unit of measurement or unit used to ensure the correctness of measurements or as a standard value for comparison of measuring instruments, measuring weight and their equipment, to protect the public interest used in various disciplines to define various measurements, formula, and data. The grouping of unit by type is divided into 2 groups, namely standard units and non-standard units. Standard units are units that have special standards so that the measurement result obtained by everyone will have the same or uniform value. Standard unit in physics can be expressed into Y. A system of unit, namely the first is the MKS unit, which is based on the abbreviation of the meter, kilogram, and second. The second is CGS, which is based on the abbreviation centimeter, gram, second. While non-standard units are units for which there is no official standard. This means that the result of measuring a quantity made by one person may be different from those made by another person. Some non-standard units are spans, fathoms, feet, cubits, and others. Just until here, the theory that I can tell to give you more information about quantity and unit. We can conclude that quantity is anything that has units that can be applied to measurement and calculation expressed in numbers to it. The requirement for something called mandatory quantity contains 3 things, namely having units, being measurable, and being able to be assessed with number. While the units are units of measurement, or unit are used to ensure the correctness of measurement or a standard value for comparison of measuring instrument, measurements, weighing, and their equipment to protect the public interest. That's all that I can give. I'm sorry if have a wrong information and wrong word. I wish from my video you can understand what quantity and units are. So just till here. Thanks for watching. See you and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.